Everybody was so confused, guys. Talking about $300. No, this woman basically and Eddie were trying to do insurance fraud for over $500,000. Pure thievery, fraud claims. But yet, she is the person constantly calling people out, exposing them when it came to Mia, when it came to Stacey and this fake relationship that she had. But yet Wendy now is being drawn out. And as far as I'm concerned, from what the sheriff has just said in his, conference, there wasn't even ever a break-in. All of it was fake. All of it was fake. Certain stolen items. Crazy. This is all the details that you guys need to know. No intro. Let's just get into this. In April 2024, Wendy and Eddie claimed their home had been burglarized whilst they were vacationing in Jamaica. They said their bedroom was ransacked and designer bags and jewelry, including Wendy's diamonds and anniversary ring, were stolen. But investigators noticed that something wasn't adding up. The scene looked completely staged. The deputy said the alleged entry window was unlocked, but there was no signs of forced entry. Their alarm and ring camera were active, but yet no motion was even detected, and the house looked untouched, apart from a few messy drawers. So this staged burglary was not convincing. Court documents read that the couple filed 3 separate insurance claims for the same burglary. Travelers insurance, which pays $25,000, including $5,000 for Wendy's ring, $4.5 to be exact. Homesite insurance claims $450,000 in losses, and Jewelers Mutual, which reported 57 stolen items. They allegedly never told each company the others were already paying out, which was ridiculous because those companies would have found out anyways. Investigators found photos of Wendy also wearing the same diamond ring she reported as stolen. After the supposed burglary, she shows out with that same ring. The ring matched appraisal photos from before the incident. Detectives dug into store and refund records. They found that a Dior shirt worth $1.4K listed as stolen was actually returned. A Gucci wallet was bought in 2018 was actually returned for a refund. And investigators say more than $20,000 in stolen items had actually been refunded before the burglary even happened. So they're pretending that all of this has been stolen, but they've been secretly refunding it. They're not telling each one of these insurance companies. Not only that, but there was an email exchange between Wendy and Eddie in regards to all of this. And Eddie, being a lawyer, doing emails like this, which is easily traceable, is stupid in 8 different languages. According to the documents, Eddie emailed Wendy asking if they could add more high-value items like Chanel shoes to reach their insurance policy maximum of $423,000. To reach the insurance policy maximum, greed and gluttonous aren't even the words, unfortunately, that describe what Eddie and Wendy are. Greed and gluttonous. They were in a maximum amount of debt, most likely student debt and college debt, because they have so many degrees, both of them, and they kept talking about it. And instead of this person to just continue with what you were doing at university, you're also on a hit reality TV show, season after season, you're still on the show doing quite well. You had to go for greed and gluttonous behavior and fraud for nearly $500,000, thinking that you would get caught out. But then at the same time, you're the one lecturing Karen, Stacey, and anybody else on the show, pretending to be this, I'm miseducated, pious individual. It's so disappointing and upsetting that this has happened. That email, guys, became a key piece of evidence showing intent to inflate the claim. When deputies searched the couple's home, guys, get this, they found at least 15 of the same items they claimed were stolen. The Osefos were charged with 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy to commit fraud, and 1 count of false statement to the police, which within itself is huge. Wendy knowingly lied to the police. A misdemeanor. She gave the police a wrong statement on purpose. And this is the person with ethics and morals, but you're lying, and the bail set at $50,000. I'm going to repeat that again for you guys. Deputies searched the couple's home when they arrested them. They found at least 15 of the same items they claimed were stolen. The interview that is now recirculating is an interview of Wendy describing the burglary with somebody and how crazy it was, how traumatic it was, how upset they were.
I forgot that in April, your home was broken into or something. Was this
the worst thing? Is so unexpected, especially since from my vantage point and from the investigators' vantage point, it was targeted,
Really?
Yeah, because
things were stolen, such important, things to them, and Wendy was being so, you know, you can say ostentatious, dramatic, whatever you want to call it in the video, all of it was a lie. She was completely lying. And prosecutors say the couple was doing this because of substantial debt and allegedly staged the burglary to collect insurance money for financial gain, which is insurance fraud in 7 different languages. If convicted, each felony charge could mean up to 10 years in prison and 10,000 fines per count. Now, I don't think that they would get up to 10 years in prison. Well, that's, you know, each felony is 10 years in prison, so you never know, to be honest with you. And they're facing multiple. And I believe Eddie's charges also have yet to be revealed, but he also is facing separate charges. So this isn't really a conversation, guys, of people are comparing this to Teresa Giudice. And the reason why they're comparing that to Teresa, because it's now been announced that Wendy's wife swap episode that was coming out tonight has been pulled by Bravo. They're not playing with this. They're cutting her off left, right, and center. And so Bravo seem to be cutting her down. Now, when it comes to this current season that she's on, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut her scenes down as well. And she definitely won't be attending the reunion because she isn't going to be allowed to talk about it. It's a legal basis. And there's a hearing for her and Eddie happening in early November. People are comparing this to Teresa, saying that Teresa actually had more counts. The difference for me is that Teresa wasn't as in on it as the husband. She was doing whatever the husband was saying. She was a yes man to the conversation. Here, I feel like with what's being presented in court documents, Wendy is just as much as in on this as Eddie. Wendy consciously wanted to do all this. She consciously lied publicly about the burglary. She was out here flaunting these stolen rings, but then, you know, was like pretending they were stolen, but then you would wear it, and etc. She's very much in on this with Eddie. The email exchange back and forth, which is all traceable and of proof. You're phoning up 3 insurance companies. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense as to why a lawyer, Eddie, would do this. He himself is also going to be disbarred. His weed company is going to completely flatline because you can't carry that on anyways if you have a felony and if you're an offender of some, you know, some sort here. Not only that, but these 2 people are naturalized citizens of America, which I believe means that they weren't born there, but of course, over living there over time, they, you know, were able to get a passport. This could also mean, especially under this government, they could be facing deportation. Like, I don't think people realize how serious this is. Both Wendy and Eddie have put out a statement, and roughly their statement is saying that they look forward to their day in court. They thank everybody for the support and they want privacy. I don't know who's supporting them. I'm very confused as to who's like, I'm so disappointed. It's such reckless behavior here because you've been questioning multiple other housewives on the show, but yet at the same time, you're doing the secret insurance fraud. And even the season is opening up with you doing house renovation. Where's that money coming from? Where are these new outfits money's coming from? Like, all of the student, instead of you to just tell your story and say that you've been in debt, you're struggling because you've got all of these degrees, that's more relatable for you as a housewife to say to others who are studying as of right now, who are doing PhDs, who are doing their masters, even their bachelors, undergrad, etc. Everybody can relate to that. Why one couldn't have done that? Why would you have to go down the insurance fraud? You're also already getting paid from the university you're at, the candle business, and you being on the show, your salary is climbing. Why would you need to now do fraud? Greed and gluttonous. Do you understand? Greed and gluttonous. They seem to have a lot of proof, the police, from what they're stating when it comes to this hearing. It was crazy earlier on today, if you guys saw it. And they stated facts. Well, not facts, allegedly, but they were basically stating, we don't believe no burglary happened. This within itself confirms to me that Dorit definitely had that, had the same plan, but she just got away with it. She was more slick. That's like if you're in a relationship, if someone's going to cheat, don't make that, you know, you ain't going to make the other person find out. And some people get away with that because you're slick. Some people are slick, some people are not slick. I don't think Wendy and Eddie are slick in any way, shape or form. Why would you even go on a public national television show if your intent is to do insurance fraud? I don't even think that they would have done all this had they gone on the show. They wanted to keep up with the show. They wanted to keep up with the lifestyle, the new dresses, all the surgeries and work that Wendy's done, and etc. You know, all of this, because they were out here trying to expose Stacey. Lo and behold, all of this is going on. Way worse than Stacey faking a relationship. I know this is a very niche topic on my channel because I don't speak about Housewives, but this has rocked everything. Everybody who watches Housewives is speaking about this conversation, so that's why I'm coming to do a video here. I know it's not going to get enough views on here. I completely understand that, but wow beyond wow. Everything's going to be pulled for Wendy. This is just the beginning. I don't see how they can recover from this. I don't see how their lawyers can fight this. I don't see how they can get out all of this and basically overcome and beat these charges. I genuinely don't. I see them both basically facing, 2 to 4 years in prison. From what we can see right now, I can definitely see that. For the police to come and arrest you both, and they've collected 15 items that you claimed was stolen, and that you also received a full refund for, but those items are still sitting in your house. 15, not even one, but 15. Then they've now got emails of Eddie saying, how can we reach the insurance maximum policy? Lord have mercy. How can we, like, they're both planning it together. It's not like he's speaking. If Eddie was sending these emails to other people that he was working with, other co-conspirators, that's a different conversation. And if Wendy had no idea and she was shocked as to where this money was coming from, then that's a whole different conversation. But this man was emailing his wife because they were both in on this together. And my issue isn't even you lot doing insurance fraud. Do you understand? My issue is the fact that you're looking down on people and using your degrees and your education to look down on people and also be quite classist at the same time and, you know, mock people and say, address me correctly. I've got 4 degrees, you ain't got 4 degrees, and etc. You're doing all of this, but behind closed doors, you're the worst of them all, doing insurance fraud of over 500,000. That's what bothers me the most. My issue isn't even you doing insurance fraud. I don't give a damn what you're doing. Do you understand? My issue is the fact that you're looking down on people whilst you're doing things that are far worse behind the scenes. So this is the photo. If you guys can see, there's her ring. That's the ring. That's the alleged photo, guys, of the ring that she claimed was stolen. But then she wanted to come and wear that at the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. for the White House Correspondents Association. Like, why would you do that? Like, how stupid do you have to, like, you're stupid. For all the degrees that you have, you're stupid. I'm so sorry. For all the degrees that you have, the common sense is a saving grace. You're stupid. You're claiming that this is, you know, stolen and you're getting the refund via the insurance, but then you're wearing that same ring, which is the same. People can identify it to be the same because of the appraisal notes, as the police stated. You're wearing that also to an event where you're publicly posting it. My thing is this: she's probably delusional and thought that she would have gone away with all of this, all that confidence to think I'm gonna get away with this, I can wear that ring, etc. Like, Wendy, you're dumb, man. I'm so sorry. Like, so much footage is coming out that's basically been revealed. Someone said the professor doesn't just set the bar, she's behind it. Somebody said, thinking about how Wendy and Peter Thomas had probably planned to scam each other with that Nigerian lounge. Dr. Wendy and Eddie could have gotten out of debt simply via bankruptcy. Instead, they chose to go down the criminal route with 3 precious children at home. Now, that is the type of greed discussed in the Bible. I'm pissed for those kids. Like, right, those kids. Like, what are they going to go through? Like, this is not a $300 situation, guys. This is over 500,000. One felony is 10 years. They're facing roughly 6 to 8 felonies. This is why you can have degrees, but you can still be dumb as hell. That's all I'm going to say. Completely disappointed. Shocked beyond belief. When I saw that, I didn't expect it. Wendy, out of all people, shocked beyond belief. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I know many of you guys don't watch this type of content, but I just want to talk about it because to me it's interesting. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.